We are. It says I'm live. Hello, welcome to Movie Crap Live. I'm a little early. Thought, let's just start this shit because I can. Oh, I hear me. You are. Okay, cool. You heard me twice there. All right. Hello and welcome to Movie Crap Live. My weekly, I say entertainment news because it comes so many different things. And then it's, I can say whatever I want. I've sent out the tweet and the skeet. Use blue sky as the skeet, I guess. And voice is a little weird because it's cold. But hello to Sinram, Jortun, Zane Powers, Cornbread, Zodberg, Purple Goop, Pup 8168. I don't know why I said your numbers there, Pup. Sorry. Zane Powers. I don't know if Austin is here, but happy birthday to him because it is his birthday, and we should do. And Stars and Dust, if you're still here, I saw you here earlier. Thank you for being here. And I think I got Emblood Tea also. Did I say everyone? If I didn't, you're cool, Cornbread. Don't worry. Sorry, Sinner. I'm sorry. It's okay. I haven't. Apologies. I did start a little early. I was just like, well, I'm sitting here. I'm ready to go. And the beginning's just me. Hey, Nathaniel Foga, how's it going? Just me hanging out. Can you believe Kevin James is... Okay, whoa, we're starting off hot. All right, I will switch over. I think you know I was in the kitchen, but I'm in the kitchen. All right, starting off hot. Okay, first off, we have a different energy drink. It's an interesting one. But it's called Jumex Energy. It's like got this guy on a horse here. And I kept seeing it and I thought, hey, William Elman. And I thought, let's try it. This is pretty cool looking. I have not tried it. Let's try it. It says nectarine. It does have caffeine because I'm not addicted, but I woke up at 5, so I think this is warranted. All right, cheers to you. That's different. We'll see how we feel about it as it goes. Okay, I cannot believe Kevin James is in Mario Galaxy. I was surprised by some of the voices, but we'll get into that. It's been a good week. Not. I don't think stuff's happened, but it's not been too crazy. We got people staying here, so it's a little hectic. So you see her people come home, might be a little noisy, but I think we'll be okay. I saw. I'm trying to figure out. I'm watching Del Toro's Frankenstein in parts, but I also so we'll see. Does Jumex even mean anything? I don't know, man. I just saw it everywhere. I was like, well, it's a different one. So I know I can't get all the cornbread. I'm sorry, I can't do great things. Austin's here. Happy birthday! Hey, happy birthday, Austin. Happy birthday to you. It's his... Oh, wait. So it said it's his birthday 12. I was like, I don't think Austin's 12. Sorry. Anyway, happy birthday, Austin. Sorry. Nathaniel Focus said, I saw Salty DK Dan at a con last week. Did you bring up Alf? That's my only question, Nathaniel Foga. That is my only question. Hey, Alex here. I don't know the band you got to see, but I'm going to check them out now because it sounds like they're very cool to you. Anyway, sorry. But yes, let me know, Nathaniel Foga. Did you ask him about Alf? Cheers to you, Nathaniel Foga. Thank you very much for the super chat. Whoa. William Elman said, I just got back from the Osgood Perkins movie Keeper. Did that come out, or is that a preview or something? Is that coming out? I've lost track of the Osgood Perkins stuff. There's just too many. I'm sorry. I saw the first one. But no, it's okay, Nathaniel Fug. It's okay. But I saw, what was the first one? Whatever the first one was. I saw that, Long Legs. Oh, you brought up a Nemoicon? Cheers. High five, Nathaniel. If you have a hands, put a hand like this, we high five. Um, uh, I didn't see Monkey, but I heard mixed things. Anyway, that's it. What is it out or is that a preview or something? When does that come out? I actually don't know. Cheers to you, William Moment. Thank you very much for the super chat. It is in theaters now? I didn't know that shit. See, this is not a good time for that movie. Why would you put it out now? Because like, I don't know. I need to see Bad Predator Badlands, and I want to see Running Man because I'm like, I see all the Edgar Wrights, but the last one was very bad. Maybe I'll see it after. Anyway, you don't need to hear me, but cheers to you, man. I forget if I drank or not, but hello, M Blood Tea. All right. Whoa. Oh, snap! You're drinking. That's a Mexican juice. It's a Mexican. It has caffeine in it. Well, that's what it says. It feels like it has caffeine. Oh, thank you. I've just seen it around Brooklyn. It's like new-ish. So I thought I'd get it. But cheers to you, Super Kirby Dude. Thank you all for the super chats right off the bat there. So what did I see? I've been watching yeah, I don't anything that's coming out before Wicked 2 and Zootopia 2 is getting trounced. Is Black Coat's daughter? Is that like before the Neon stuff? I'm gonna have to look into him. Let me see. My son watched Bubble Guppies tonight, so I don't know if you want me to talk about that. We've just been chilling and having a good time. I can't really think of like I showed my son Yo Gabba Gabba, and that is cool, but it's hard to explain to other parents because it's like from the 2000s, and they're like, why were you watching it? And it goes, oh, I was just watching it, hanging out, not doing anything while I watched it, and it's not important. But he watched it a lot, and he had fun. It's his direct. Okay, I need to review more of his stuff. Maybe I should just review Keeper. And anyway, it's hard to keep up with anything. Sorry about the ads stuff. I don't. It's YouTube. I don't know. Hey Javier Portello. What was I gonna say? I forget. Oh, yeah, we saw Yo Gabba Gabba is really good, but it's a really good way to get energy. I think I've talked about that before. I showed it to Sophie, but I showed it more to Oscar, and he really likes it. It's also like it's still very hip. It's still like no kid show tries to be hip like Yo Gabba Gabba, and I think it's also like I think indie culture is not around to the same degree, and people wanting to do smaller stuff. It's just like anyway, Yo Gabba Gabba is very good still, but yeah, I used to anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, the other thing is I saw the Materialists, and a lot of people, Questlove, Bismarck, so many cool people. Anyway, sorry. I saw the Materialists, and that movie fucking sucked. Like, what the? I don't know. I should have known because of my friend Rachel Wagner, who anytime I comment on her videos, people are confused why I'm there, but we've known each other for a long. We've been friends and supporters of each other for a long time, and she is like a rom-com Hallmark person, and she didn't like it, and I was like, that's not good. If Rachel doesn't like it, that means it's probably not gonna be good because she knows her shit about that. And it wasn't because Celine Song's way of directing actors did not work, and Dakota Johnson is not well cast, and I think of the three Pedro Pascal performances that we had to keep hearing about how he's in every movie, and he was in like that horror movie nobody saw. It became like this whole like fucking thing, like the Jude Law thing in the 2000s. It was probably the worst one. I think Eddington was his best performance of the movies that came out this year. It was better than Phantasm, but I would say Phantasm 4 is better than fucking Material. But it's just like awkward, and the script didn't work, and it was like some revelations in it. I was like, that you never, like, this never came up before. I don't believe that. Anyway, it's like, I think Dakota Johnson was miscast, but I also think like her way of directing actors is an indie thing and not a lead actor thing, like a Hollywood star thing, and mixing those two like just didn't work. And I think the only one who sort of got to work was Pedro Pascal, but I would say not really. It was like not. I don't know. It was like I really did want to see it, and I liked Past Lives a lot, but that worked. Greta Lee works with that style, and you really got to have someone. Hey, Will's here too. I am talking about the trailer tonight, Will. Don't worry. But it just didn't. I was disappointed because I like Past Lives a lot, and I thought it said a lot about internet culture. And I think this didn't. And also, like, I think the idea of bringing up money and dating. I also think the thing, if you're going to try, I haven't dated. Look, I haven't dated since Bush was president. So I really should not be talking, to be honest. But to my limited understanding, there's a lot to do with dating, and it's not just money. And she simplified it down to that. And I think a lot of it just didn't work. But maybe I shouldn't talk about it because the last time I dated was 2005. So I should not comment on such things because I've never been on a dating app. Not that I'm the better for it or anything. I don't take it that way. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people are saying about Edgar Wright. Like, I've seen a couple theories about how I don't know if that's a flex. Depends on how it could be. Oh, the legs thing. The legs thing. Oh my god, what the fuck, man? I didn't know about this leg surgery. I only knew about Rivers Cuomo did it. I don't know. I don't really get the whole height thing, but I'm a tall person, so what the fuck do I know? Anyway, wait, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Advice flashcards still. What, my dating flashcards? Yeah, one of them was like, "Hey, have you seen Loose Change? Because that shit is crazy." Sorry. Uh, other stuff. I saw that there is a. You should, Alex. I support you. You're working out. You can do it, man. No, it's cool. It's cool. Will. I mean, I did try it. I did want to see it. I'll see your next one. Um. What was I gonna say? I'm sorry. Oh, there is a Smiling Friends pop up. I'm not going to talk about it in the news. In New York, I'm excited to go. I recently found out that they like Knock Force. I didn't know that, so that made me feel good because I like Smiling Friends. I can't do anything with that. Maybe if they're there, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm that other guy. The one whose name you don't know, probably." But I don't. I feel like most likely I'll just take some videos and go home and stuff. But I would like to go. I really would. But I don't want to take my kids because they'll be like, what the fuck? So I just want to go by myself. Like, I try to keep them out of my animation stuff. Peak inspires Peak. Thank you, Thank you, Flippy Super. That makes me feel good. Anyway, what was I gonna? I feel like there's some show they watch, and I mean they watch Scooby Doo. I have noticed that. Whoa, my voice is a little weird tonight. MeTV Tunes plays at 10 o'clock on Saturday mornings, plays an hour of Scooby Doo. But what Scooby Doo show they're going to play is like this random assortment. But like Mystery Incorporated, I love that show. That is not a kid show. Stop playing that on Saturday mornings. Like there's so many Scooby Doo. I love Mystery Incorporated, but that should be like right after Freakazoid on Saturday nights. Look, Jerry Beck, we can chill. This is actually my pitch to Zoran. Maybe everyone's trying to get a job. What if I just live at his mansion and there's just a room and it's me and a TV and a couch? And if he needs to chill, he comes in and I play him Smiling Friends or Primal or some, Chainsaw. I don't know. We'll just watch cartoons and be like, it's cool, man. Don't worry about it. And I won't pay attention to what he's doing. I think I should pitch it. It's like, just pay me and, I can still make my videos and stuff. Just like, just be cool. I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I don't know how to pitch that. Just dude who hangs out at his house, and I'll do the dishes. This sounds like the Chris Farley. Let the boy be your dog. Sorry. Man, 90s SNL. I don't know if it's as good. It's just like we all watch it too much. All right, let's. Wait, which show? Wait, what are we talking about? Yo Gabba Gabba? Or Scooby? Oh no, Scooby Doo. Yes. No, a lot of people show their kids Mystery Incorporated, but they were playing Mystery Incorporated on MeTV Tunes, but now they're playing Scooby and Scrappy, which is also on Internet Archive. So if you want to watch that, the best free streaming service. Anyway, All right, let's get into it. I've had a good. Actually, you know what? There were some real peaks this weekend, and I'm happy about my weekend overall. What else did I do? Oh, I supervised a sleepover where I hung out in the other room while my daughter and her friend sang Wicked and treated me like I was invisible. So this is a really good movie. Okay, so that's like if you're wondering what it's like to deal with a kid sleepover, it's basically like you don't exist and nobody cares what happens to you as long as you're there. Because we went to the store to get a frozen pizza. I was like, wow, I like really feel like I do not exist other than to buy these kids things. Hey, Phony Code, how's it going? Oh, I didn't know about that. That's awesome. What'd they say, Phony Code? If you don't want to say in the chat, please tell me because I didn't know. I know they did a thing, but I had to go to soccer practice. Not for me, for my kid. I'm not going. I'm not playing no fucking soccer or football. Here, Will, you're turning 26. Don't feel weird about that shit, man. Come on. Do something cool. Don't feel weird, Will. Don't feel weird. Sorry, this is a weird small talk section. No, I'll tell you my soccer thing. Is anytime, if I told you guys this, I'm sorry. Anytime when we used to go to soccer, I don't know anything about sports to a pretty massive degree. And then one time this dad was like, oh, just be like Messi. And I was like, why are you calling your kid dirty? Like, what the fuck is that about? And then like someone's like, no, like, no, that's a football player. And I was like, oh, okay. And I looked it up. Apparently it is. Anyway, all right, sorry. I really know nothing about sports. I'm sorry. As long when Cal Ripken, oh yeah, Rebecca helped out. Rebecca, I think I tried to credit them on them. I'm not sure, but if it's, I know she worked on. I don't know. I forget. But if she was sort of the fifth beat. I always say she's like the fifth Beatle or whatever. She's like the other. She's never in the voice, but she did a bunch of stuff. Anyway, all right, let's get into it. All right. So this and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through super chats during the show, and I'll do the flashy lights when we get to $20. We're not there yet, but we are on our way. Or through my Patreon, where you get all sorts of cool stuff like more power in the movie review vote. That movie review vote is fucking gonna come out this weekend. It might come out at a weird time, but it's gonna come out this weekend. I fucking hope. And you get all sorts of exclusive stuff like postcards, my commentary series where I'm doing knock for some of my older videos, as well as you get things for my you get postcards, you get access to my public access show, which I think the only way you can watch on demand is through that, and all sorts of stuff, all sorts of exclusive stuff to help me to continue to do what I do, make flyers, publicize, get new equipment, make new stuff, help me to, keep making my art. And I very much appreciate if you're financially able to do so. But yes, you do a super chat. I will drink this energy drink, which will give me energy, which I will need. And then continue doing it and help me continue making videos and stuff like that. Rebecca did help. I think she helped. I don't know if J Street, was she around? I forget, but sure. If she said that, then I will go, okay. Most likely, I think so. My friend who reads CSM manga says the Rez movie might have been better than what it's adapted. Really? Oh, CSM meaning Chainsaw Man. Sorry. Okay, I've heard good. I have not read the manga, and I'm meaning to get, because I go with my kids to the library a lot. I've been meaning to reserve it. So I will do that. I need to. Okay, I want to get the original one, but that's interesting. I thought they did a good job, and especially structure. I mean, I talked about it in my review, but they structured it very well. They're very smart about it. Cheers, G-Man. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Hey, if you're financially able to do so, if not, liking this video. If you don't have any money, liking this video, subscribing helps. Notifications helps. You get all my throwbacks and stuff. There were throwbacks this week. Also, I did one for I have not made my animated list Zane Powers. I'm actually going to do this tomorrow. What was I going to say? I did for the story of G.I. Joe. That's actually on Tubi. I forgot to post the link, but if you wanted to watch that, it's a really good movie. But if you want all that sort of cool stuff, You can through being subscribed or notifications. But if you're just watching and you don't even have an account, which I get more and more of because of the flyers and stuff like that, thank you just for being here. I think that's really cool. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I have some flyers and some stories where I really had to talk to the people. I said, I'm not creepy or a conservative person or something, because you have to say that with movie reviews now. So thanks a fucking lot, Last Jedi assholes. But not a joke. But this one lady like kept him up. She's like, yeah, I checked you out and you're fine. And I was like, oh, that made me feel good. And I saw it today and I saw her and I feel good about that. So that's nice. I like that. It's hard to do movie reviews, and I'm glad people respect it as an art and all that stuff. Anyway, also, if you love, we have a really cool community tonight, but I have a generally really awesome audience, and they all hang out on the Discord, which has all sorts of cool stuff like daily questions. I asked them, what do you want me to talk about in movie crap the day of movie crap. They do movie watches every week. I'm not sure what they're doing. It's a really wonderful community run by Austin Cornbread, Zane Powers, and Ryan Walters, and they do a wonderful job running it, and they're great moderators, and it's a really, really great community. It's the Discord I'm most active in. There's a suggestions for Jim channel. There's a Robin Hood Man Tights is a great choice. There's all sorts of cool shit like that. There's a licensed playing card channel. My Scooby-Doo cards ended up in the laundry, so I just have my Fort McHenry cards again. So I need to get cooler, fun cards for the licensed playing card channel. But there's all sorts of cool stuff. It's a really great community. It's in the link below. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, personal, and otherwise. For all the reels, I need to put my Chainsaw Man thing up there. YouTube, I don't know if you knew that since you're watching this here. Tumblr, which apparently is one of my more popular social medias, actually. Twitter and Blue Sky. So, because I looked at like where people must be, and Tumblr was above Blue Sky. So I don't know. Cornell and Bernie? That's interesting. Okay, all right. So I'm going to talk about the biggest news, and you probably don't even think, you might not even heard about this news. But Al Jean left The Simpsons, and he talked about the Critic reboot. In fact, I'm going to talk about this the whole show. No, I'm joking. But I'm going to talk about this for a little bit. So the Critic reboot. The Critic reboot, it says it's definitely been discussed. Al Jean revealed, I'll just say there's really only one hurdle. John is up for it. Maurice LaMarche is up for it. Mark Reese is too. I can't really say what the one hurdle is, but there's one thing standing in the way. What is the one thing standing in the way of the Critic reboot? I really want to know. But apparently, like, it is a thing they're considering. I think if you're gonna do it, I know Paleo said, whoa, hold on. Paleo suggested that it should be someone like making YouTube and stuff and not the critic then. And I'm curious how you would adapt that to criticism now. That would be the big thing. And I agree with that. That's a very good point. But we'll see. I don't really know if I don't know. I'm curious how you would adapt it again, but I would like it to come back. And if Al Jean is like free from Simpsons and that's what he wants to do, I feel like TV veteran wise, they should let him. But when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, there is a thing? But yeah, okay, I saw that, Cornbread. Sorry, let me read this. Jim, the limb lengthening surgery thing is very real. My friend at work paid $45,000 and did half a year of physical therapy so they could go from 5'8" to... What? 2 inches? For 2 inches? I don't... Is that 2 inches? No, that's... Wait, no, that's not 2 inches. That's like... Okay, that's a bunch of inches, but still, that's crazy. But anyway, I have heard... No, I don't know. I didn't know that height was a thing with the ladies until recently, and everyone makes fun of me that I didn't know, but like, anyway, that's 4 inches. Sorry, I'm not good at math. It's been a long day. I'm sorry. Cheers to you, William. Thank you for your generosity. Do a Duckman. Hey, and Norbert's here. I don't know. I still don't get whatever. Love is transactional, but damn it. I hope, did he like get laid after that? I just want to know for his sake. Like, that's a lot of money. I hope he did after that. I mean, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but it's like, I hope he did, because that's like, I don't often say guys deserve to, but I feel like that's like, I don't want to be a like, I just think that sucks. Like, that's like a really crazy amount. I hope it worked out for him. Jeez. I don't get these things. I don't know. Wow. Anyway, here we are past $20, so we're going to do the thing for a little bit. I do have Tubi news, by the way. I legit have a lot of Tubi news tonight. I'm not joking. All right, we're past the Elgene thing. All right, so I'm going to do this section. Cineram is doing the timestamps. Cineram, you could literally just say Toy Story and Super Mario Galaxy trailers. You do not have to do all these trailers because there's a lot of really big ones this week. It's up to you. Anyway, all right. Who's me Mac? Who was that? Who said fire? I know. I don't know. Oh, okay. I don't know anything about these things. I don't know. Sorry. I shouldn't comment on this stuff. It's like, all right, let's talk about all the trailers. Let's talk about the big one, I think, which was Super Mario Galaxy. Or Super Mario Galaxy the movie. This was a fine trailer. I think it really just looked like it's the same, simple kind of story thing, which I think worked. Illumination, I think, makes sequels whether the story warrants it or not, or they have a good story, which is always like the problem. If you look at where Despicable Me is at this point. But I do think like this could be a huge movie, but I think the problem is talking from his height, thanks, Cartman. I do think it looked good. I like the opening with Bowser, but it did feel like kind of like random shit chose together to be like, hey, there's a new one. We did get a lot of stuff for trailers this week. I'm assuming because Wicked's coming out, but I don't know why it wasn't next week, but whatever. As for the new voices, I honestly thought that was Mark Hamill until I read it was one of the Safdies. I guess it's the Safdie that was in Oppenheimer. I have no clue why that's a Safdie brother and why it's not. Like, I know people are like, what kid is seeing Charlie and Chris Pratt as Mario and Luigi? But like the Safdie, like I really didn't get us for that one. Yeah, there is no Yoshi. I did notice that. Where was Yoshi in this? I'm assuming Yoshi's going to show up. But then they also like Brie Larson in this. One, I don't actually hate Brie Larson. I just think she needs to do more indie movies. She really just went all in on the big Hollywood shit, and I don't think that's really worked out for her as much as she thinks. And I will say, when I do the almost cast in, the Brie Larson one was very big, and it's pretty clear most people do not hate her based on the reception of that. I'm just going to be honest. But I don't think those are for the adults. Adults are like, the Safdie brothers are in Mario. Like, most of them are like, I don't know, that Uncut Gems movie was too much, man. I ain't watching their shit. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, Brie Larson as, who is she? Because my kids and my wife are doing Brie Larson. This is, I don't know, Mario Galaxy boyfriend. I don't know what that's about. Rosalina, sorry. You never hear her do it, and they wanted her to do her catchphrase, and she doesn't, which I was like, but yeah, you don't hear her do Rosalina. I mean, I thought the little section was cool, and it was a neat little trailer thing, but I don't want to get into why it doesn't make sense, Alex. It really, if you want me to explain it, it doesn't make sense. I want to just be clear. None of it makes sense, the hatred for Brie Larson. If you really get into it, the people who got upset had no reason to be upset. Anyway, Will said, something I felt was off about the Galaxy trailer was they didn't really show a lot of the Galaxy games. That's actually true, at least thus far. They specifically referenced Sunshine, interestingly enough. That's true. They only show it for like a bit. I don't know all of the games as well, but yeah, it really doesn't. I mean, cheers to you, Will. Thank you for the generous super chat. It really doesn't. I mean, I think like my kids were hyped and they're very excited. I do think like if you're going to make another Mario movie, and any parent I've talked to, and as I've seen my kids watch it, narratively it's very simple movie and like does it's very very simple, and I think kids like that. The how like I really do as watching movies with my kids. I notice watch movies with my daughter, newer stuff, she'll ask me more questions because newer stuff tries to do too much. But when we were watching, like, we watched Dracula and Dracula's Daughter, which are very, simple. They're not too simple, but they're like, they wrap up everything like a nice bow. And she had no questions. And I think, like, narratively, kids actually like most of the books and stuff she reads, like, all wrap everything up and they like narratively everything that makes sense. And I think maybe that's probably the appeal. And if they do that again, I mean, I think it'll make $1 billion anyway, but if they do that again, we're looking at a huge movie. But I'm not super into that Galaxy was second. I kind of like, but whatever, we'll see. I but I was surprised. I really thought it was Mark Hamill as Bowser's son there, but I don't know if we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be interesting when that comes out. But a lot of people are saying that's going to end up being the highest grossing movie of next year, even though we have no Avengers movie and a Star Wars movie and all that stuff. But I think, yeah, no, none of those people have seen it, and none of them know much about it. They just know that it's to be clear, to explain it. I dropped my cards. To explain it very quickly is basically, if you don't know, what happened is she complained that movie press was only mainly white guys who were interviewing her. And the movie press was like, actually, you're right. And we've been telling our employers this for a long time. And because she said that, they all go, okay, we will actually diversify finally. And the critics were mostly like, yeah, cool. And the movie press was like, yeah, no, we agree. And then, like, a bunch of conservative YouTubers were like, well, she hates white guys. And it's basically like that meme of, like, two people and go, I consent. And a third person go, well, I don't, is the whole Brie Larson thing. It's just like, she criticized an industry. The industry went, oh, yeah, we actually don't like that. Also, we should change it. And then somebody else was like, well, I don't like that. I'm like, dude, nobody asked you. Like, what the fuck? So that's really the story. If anyone tells you different, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But I think it was like a fine little trailer. It was hyped. Not a lot of Chris Pratt. A lot of Jack Black, who I think is kind of the kid. Like, literally, I think I've brought this up before. My kids, every year, it was like Mario, Kung Fu Panda, Minecraft, and now Mario 2. Every year they see a movie with Jack Black. And that's just going to keep going. Because then Minecraft 2. Then, he'll have another thing. And, like, it's just like... he really, I don't know. It's interesting how much power he has as a kid's movie movie star, basically. Like, he really is a really huge kids movie star person at this point. Like, it's just, like, ridiculous. Every kid knows who he is, and he doesn't do that. He's just in huge movies, Anyway, so it actually makes sense that I think he had the most lines, because to my kids, he's the most famous. They don't know who Chris Pratt is. I've actually heard people say Chris Pratt is not as famous as he used to be because he's not really in things people like. Which, you know what? Fuck him. How about that? Yeah. Who's doing Sam's Club commercials? Wait, who is? I don't know about this. Who does Sam's? Chris Pratt? Ugh. Okay. I'll just do one quick. There was a Devil Wears Prada 2 trailer. I know so many of you are excited for that. It looked fine. They used Vogue. I just think, I don't know what the plot of this is, but if it was me, and I know recent news would make this impossible, I would have Anne Hathaway's character run Teen Vogue, and then Meryl Streep runs Vogue, and there's like a conflict over who's the cooler editor and all this stuff. That's what I would do, but obviously they, I'm sure they won't do that. All right. Kids do not know Star-Lord because most parents, my kids haven't seen Guardians because that opening scene is too intense and the mom stuff. And most kids do not know Guardians, actually, because of that. And most people I know don't let them do that. Anyway, yeah, 2006 is back. Toys, what? He does for the Bible reading app? Bitch, if you can't read the Bible yourself, shut the fuck up. Anyway, you're supposed to love the Bible and you can't read that shit? Like, what the fuck is that? You need someone to read the Bible for you? I read the fucking Bible. Like, you can read the Bible. It's not hard. I don't understand. Whatever. All right. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Will, thank you again. And super. Let me do these, and then we'll move to Toy Story 5. Amazing that Jack Black was integral to my childhood Nacho Libre and Kung Fu Panda for me, and his grappa on pop culture hasn't. Well, he had a break there, and then Jumanji brought him back, and now it's just like I'm just gonna keep this going because I believe we hit another 20 job, but I'll check. But yeah, no, he really like I think Jumanji brought him back, and now he's just in a big kids movie every year. Cheers to you all. Super Kirby dude, I got Mario Galaxy for Christmas of 2015, and the movie is coming out 10 years after I played it. Makes me personal and sentimental to me. Oh yeah, I mean it came out. I remember playing that game and it was a lot of fun. And then Lovely Bones ripped it off. No, I'm joking. But no, that is a good Mario game. That's one of the last Mario games, other than the ones I played then. Uh, Whatever the one we have now. Forget. Sorry. Before we got a Switch was the last one I really played. And I really had fun with that. All right, cheers to you, Super Kirby, dude. You want an energy drink too? This is an interesting. It does taste like juice, but I can tell there's caffeine there. Sorry, where are we at? Oh, we're almost at. Whoa, wow. Okay, I will keep this going for a little bit. We're past 40. Thank you all very much for your generosity. I very much appreciate it. Also, before I talk about Toy Story, there will be a show next week. The week of Thanksgiving, I might do a show on Tuesday as like a fun, jokey testing kind of show. Oh, he reads it in perfect Latin. All right, I'll give him that. Willie Wellman. We might do a sort of kind of test out kind of show on that Tuesday because I know people are traveling and avoiding family, and maybe you just want a movie crap to watch to avoid your family. So I might do that, but there's no guarantee. But I know there'll be a show next week. The Thanksgiving week, I'm not sure, or maybe I'll do it. Hey, Chan talks more movies, or maybe I'll do it after Thanksgiving. But I don't think so. But we'll see. But I'm hoping for that Tuesday. But I will let you know. Follow me. Look for the community post, basically. All right, Toy Story. Wow, we are. Sorry, Toy Story 5 trailer. I don't think this movie makes sense, and almost everyone I know who watched this trailer questioned its existence. So, like, Mario Galaxy, total hit. Kids were like, we want to see it. I cannot wait to watch. Why is this lady next to me? I don't understand this. All right. Anyway, well, skip out. Jesus, lady. What was I gonna say? Oh, almost everyone know question this trailer because it's both like the iPad thing. I'm like, I really don't think it's that because my kids and other kids have iPads and they play with both, and the parents are like, no, it's all about the Minecraft, and I'm like, it's not all about the Minecraft. But I think this trailer, particularly like people are like, why is Woody there? What's going on? What's with the iPad? The iPad is voiced by Greta Lee. I don't think it'll be. I think this one has more questions because I think as much as most people don't like, you haven't seen 3 or 4. I think you should see 3. Uh, um, it was just it wasn't a very good trailer. And why are they scared of it? It's just like, and also like, there is a thing like most parents observe a thing called screen time, and unless like if part of this is like during COVID when screen time didn't exist anymore, like parents were just like trying to survive, then sure. But like so many parents have like either a screen time thing or so obsessed with that like I really like I have a lot of questions about that, but it's just like I don't it looks like it was a school thing I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of things about it I don't like as a modern parent who has to deal with that, and I just really don't think like it makes sense. And like Woody just being back in Bonnie's room, like does this take place before 4 or something? It's just like just let Woody go and like let it evolve naturally, but I guess like without Tom Hanks it's not as interesting. But I really thought that was sort of I don't know, but even my kids were like, why is this like they never questioned 4. And I really think it I don't know. I'm noticing a lot of people are questioning its existence, which is not great for Toy Story 5. Like I've heard more of that with this one. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. I mean, I'll see it, but we'll see. Will, and thank you again for the super chat. Said again, dude, I'm gonna hold my breath to this. If Hoppers flops and Toy Story 5 breaks the bank, then everybody needs to sit down LMAO. We can't leave Daniel Chang outro. I will agree. I think Hopper's looks. We have not seen as many trailers, and I hope there's one before Zootopia 2. But cheers to you. Thank you for the super. I think we're just gonna have flashy for a little bit. I believe we are. Yep, we are. Okay, we hit another $20. Thank you all for your generosity. Cheers to you. Oh yeah, Stan directed this. That I don't know. Finding Nemo is one thing, but Finding Dory, yeesh. All right. The SpongeBob movie, The Search for SquarePants. I haven't heard as much hype for this, and I'm curious because it kind of feels like it should be this year's Sonic 3, I guess, but it doesn't feel like there's as much hype. However, as I said before, SpongeBob is in the top 10 streaming shows like recently, and I think we underappreciate how big SpongeBob is. So I will say I think this movie will probably do well. It seemed like a fun enough movie with the pirates and like all that stuff, and it looked more fun than those Netflix spin-off movies. We'll see. I'm curious the deal with this, but it looked fine to me. There's a trailer for Man vs. Baby, which is the Mr. Bean with a baby kind of show, I guess. It was a show, not a movie. I'll probably never watch it then, but good for them, I guess. Oh, hey, Austin. Sorry, just got home, but carding went long. TY for happy birthday. Currently on the East Coast, so I have 52 minutes left. You are currently on this. Okay, well, cheers to you. And at midnight, whether you're here or not, I was going to say happy birthday. I was going to try to keep track of the clock, but cheers to you, Austin. Happy birthday. Thank you for spending at least part of the almost your birthday with us. I really appreciate it. Cheers to you. Let's talk about, I think this is the trailer we went, and I know Will's excited for this, is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, where Sam Rockwell comes into a diner and explains something. He's here from the future to save us from this kind of AI evil reality and what the future has become. I am very actually excited for this because Gore Verbinski is a really interesting visual filmmaker, as well as it looks weird, it looks strange. I was surprised it's coming out in February. I thought it was coming out in January, but maybe I'm just wrong about that. But it looks really cool. It looks like just like a weird, interesting thing. I don't know if the coherence guy worked on it. Okay, I need to get some of these. Sorry, let me finish. Good luck. Okay, I'm getting some super chat. I need to get to these. Thank you for the generosity, thank guys. I very much appreciate it, especially right now. But what was I saying? Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die looks just like a really crazy, insane auteur kind of wild movie. Sam Rockwell, I think what the thing with Sam Rockwell is he's very good in Bad Guys, he's good in other stuff, but him in a weird movie is a real like je ne sais quoi, like very French chef's kiss kind of thing. It looks like a perfect kind of thing. I'm very excited for this. I think Gore Verbinski needs to come back. I saw The Cure for Wellness, and like even like I will say, like I see a lot of movies and there's some you forget, but I don't forget the visuals of his movies. Like I still remember that movie, and I think we will do that. And I think it's gonna be cool. I really like it's anti-AI, it's weird. Sam Rockwell is wearing weird shit. Like all the visuals look good. This is gonna be great. I'm very excited for Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I'd say out of all these, that's the one I have the highest hopes for at this present time. My family, Mario Galaxy, but me, because we're not taking the kids to that, or Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I'm most excited for that presently. All right, let's do these super chats. I'm sorry. Will says, interesting about Sen, he has a live action sci-fi epic that seemingly lost the release schedule. Also, don't diss Wall-E Jim. I love Wall-E. I'm not going to diss Wall-E, but I will say he does direct Stranger Things. But I wouldn't give him a sci-fi epic because like John Carter did not really work out. I don't know what they're thinking there, but cheers to you, Will. But yeah, I didn't hear about that. I thought he was just doing, but I remember his Stranger Things were good. So don't forget like Strelly Oaks, nice. All right, William Ellman, thank you very much for your generosity. I guess we'll just keep the lights flashing because that's where we're going tonight. Oh yeah, we're doing okay. All right, we'll just keep it going. We'll keep it going. for a little bit. All right, it says Conan will probably be a good voice actor. I think he will. He was pretty great in If I Had Legs, I'll Kick You. Granted, he played a psychologist, so he got to sit behind a desk for the whole movie, which probably wasn't much work. I think he still did, and I think I do like that he's trying out stuff because he actually talked about one thing that's interesting. I'll say this, and cheers to you again if I didn't. Thank you, man. That's very nice of you. Is that he actually talked about it a few times because he got to do the Johnny Carson Simpsons episode, which is the only, I think it's the only thing Johnny Carson did after the Tonight Show was the Simpsons. And he talked about how it was a shame after it was over he didn't do more work because Johnny Carson's a weird dude anyway. But it's interesting that after his show has ended, he's really found a way to reinvent himself, and I think it's because he is someone who looks at the past and looks at what could have been improved, and he's really going for it. But I need to see If I Had Legs, like, I don't know, some of these intense parent movies are just like not I will see them. It's just like I have reservations because it's like that's like my life. So I'm like, I don't know. I want to see, although I'm gonna see Die My Love probably soon too. So I'm kind of like very I don't know. I'm gonna see them. It's just like dealing with that intensity of like something close to my life is like I have some reservation, but I kind of don't want to end the year without having seen them. So we'll see. Anyway, Will says, "Oh, another generator. Okay, we're just gonna have to keeping the lights going. This is interesting. All right." Will says, "Yes, yes, yes. Good luck. Have fun. Looks terrific. Love how the song builds up in the trailer. That's true. Great cast as well. Love Gore's stuff. Mouse Hunt and Weather. I forgot. Mouse Hunt and Weatherman are fantastic. And yes, Jim Burke did work on the VFX. You can tell. Okay, I thought he did something, man. I thought he did something. I watched some of his show on Tubi and I liked it. I need to finish it. But yeah, I mean, I love Jim Burke. There was somebody who was in Coherence, and I watched something from them. Oh, it was the director of Hustlers is in Coherence, and I didn't realize that. Anyway, I just found it because she had the thing with Sabrina Carpenter is doing a Alice in Wonderland musical with her, which I didn't put in here. Which sounds kind of interesting. It's interesting she didn't go for a Disney thing, but she went with a better own thing with Universal. But I looked her up because I love Hustlers a lot. I'm like, what has she been doing? And I noticed she's on the cast of Coherence, which was kind of interesting. Anyway, cheers to you, Will. Thank you guys very much. I really giving me helping things going. I really love it. Thank you. I like to see Lynn Ramsey. And I'd like to see Jennifer Lawrence do another great performance. It's been a bit for her. Okay, we have talked about all the trailers. Trailer section now over. Boop, the Betty Boop horror movie. If you didn't know, Betty Boop or her intro cartoon is going to go into the public domain on January 1st. So that means, of course, I'll probably review it then because people will give a bit of a shit about classic cartoons. But it's about oh man, I didn't actually read this description. I just copied it. Now I'm all re-experienced at it. I'll do it. The only one that no one prepared me for, I saw Pet Sematary, and when that kid gets hit by the truck, I was like, whoa, okay. And a friend told me, he goes, should have mentioned the kid getting hit by a car thing. That was like, I didn't stop it, but it was intense. All right. The Betty Boop, if I can do Pet Sematary, I'm sure those other two movies are fine. Betty Boop, the Betty Boop horror movie. Here's the description of this, which they're already working on somehow legal. With Mickey Mouse, they had to wait. I don't understand. Like Betty Boop, they don't. Whatever. They're trying to sell it. A team of horror podcast investigators, because podcast investigators are the worst. Although, to be clear about this, true crime people who do not consider the subjects that they are covering are actually evil people, so they might not be wrong about this. But they break into an abandoned theater to discover the hauntings of the starlet once known as Boop. A simple investigation turns into a horrific bloodbath as they fight to escape the murderous Boop as she's out for revenge. Actually, a horror movie starring a classic cartoon character in a movie theater where they kill morally bankrupt podcasters doesn't sound like the worst idea, but the images they showed seemed pretty stupid. So I don't know. I didn't get to see as many of those Mickey Mouse horror things as I wanted to. Maybe I'll see the Betty Boop one. But anyway. We'll see. The Elephant Special. This was revealed, I think, today. What is happening with the Elephant Special, which is I will not be reviewing this. I want to be clear on that. Because like I conflict of interest if Ian and Rebecca are directing something. They're co-direct. There's 3 segments. Ian and Rebecca are co-directing one segment, at least per the press release. Pendleton Ward is doing another, and Patrick McHale is doing the third one. I am going to watch it though. It premieres on December 19th at 11 p.m. and it will also stream next day on HBO Max. And then there's going to be, if you scroll down, which I noticed not as many people are talking about, is Adult Swim is going to have a documentary special about Behind the Elephant, a documentary that premieres alongside an encore airing on the next day on December 20th, which I assume will be on HBO Max on December 21st. About the making of it. So if you like it, you'll get 2 elephant things in a row. I think this sounds really cool. I very much, I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be a cool special, and I think it'll be cool watching those. There's like 3 of the greatest animators around, you know? Oh. There's a stray kitty. Joe Rogan is going to get killed. No, I don't think Joe Rogan. Sorry. All right. Okay. Mystery Science Theater 3000 was announced. The Turkey Day stuff. I agree. JG Quintel should be able. The Turkey Day stuff, which is going to happen on Thanksgiving. If you're unaware, Mystery Science Theater is a very big thing with Thanksgiving. It's really part of the whole show. They're really just going to play mainly the 2 Netflix seasons, which would be, I guess, what's considered the return, although that's just, was it season? What are we doing? I mean, look, if I'm more moral than the Supreme Court, if they let me do the laws, it'd be a lot better. At least for me. Mystery Science, yeah, they're gonna play the 2 Netflix seasons. I guess it's not too special, although I am actually gonna review one of the Gauntlet ones I haven't done, or the one I'm gonna try to do it in order and switch off between them, because I do a Mystery Science Theater episode that premiered on Thanksgiving right before Thanksgiving, and I was gonna do I guess the next, because I did the only 3 because it was just releasing 6 episodes on Thanksgiving was a dumb idea, Netflix. But I am going to review one of those. So at least it's topical for me, I guess. But I have heard other people comment, because Austin was like, they really aren't doing anything that special, and I'll agree. Also, like, people are like, oh, now they're going to be free, but they've been playing the Mystery Science Theater Netflix episodes on Pluto and on the like Pluto type channels for a while now. So it's like, that's not that special. Like, I've definitely watched Netflix ones on there. I don't know. But you saw Now You See Me. What, just the original or the third one? I'm so confused how that's a thing. All right. Now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Slop House, to talk about AI stuff today. So Bob Iger in a Disney earnings call said Disney Plus will use AI to make smaller videos made by users that will be available on Disney Plus. Here's the thing about all this. Sorry, my nose is running there. Thing about this, he said, we're talking to companies. Which one? Didn't say. When is this happening? Don't know. Nobody said. It's literally like the dumbest. It's like he's like, I gotta say something in this earnings call because I'm just hoping Zootopia 2 works out. And he's like, we're gonna use AI and it's gonna be made by people who we don't pay to make content that we will then make people pay for. Um, I think Bob Iger, people used to respect him, but man, dude, like it was super vague. It was super stupid. It's I like what the fuck? Like this is the dumbest move I've ever heard. Like nobody wants to watch your frozen AI bullshit. Disney is really falling off. It's really ridiculous. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, and everyone knows like you can't even train that Lionsgate story. Like you need all. There's not enough stuff to actually train. Even Disney doesn't have enough stuff to train the AI, so it's not even gonna work. Like what? Like I don't know. If he said we're doing Disney Plus with Sora, but he didn't say that. This is like such a nothing. Like fuck this, Bob Iger. What a dumbass. Like he just wanted to impress people at his earnings call. He does. I think he wanted to entice AI companies to do this for him, but like, if that's the case, what a loser. I don't know. I do not understand. Disney Plus has kind of done this thing like, well, what if we had users make content and stuff? I'm like, I'm not making fucking videos for Disney Plus. Like, how much you paying me for that shit, bro? Like, I'm just like, we can't be. Anyway, don't make. Anyway, in AI is dumb, but at least someone's suing them news. Morgan Freeman does not like AI. He said, according to a Guardian article, but it's apparently a real thing. I'm a little PO'd, you know. I'm like any other actor, don't mimic me with falseness. I don't appreciate it, and I get paid for doing stuff like that. So if you're going to do it without me, you're robbing me. He said his lawyers have been very busy. Um, yeah. Good for you, Morgan Freeman. Fuck those guys, bro. Like, come on. I love that Morgan Freeman's like, no, I get paid for this shit. Fuck that. Um, wait, what? What did Dana Tarrant say? Oh wow. Unsubscribe for Disney Plus, Pirate Owl House, I don't care. Fuck Gen AI. Yes. I'll just retweet this. You're reposted. Um that's awesome. You know what? She's right though. I think she's got the right move with the new show, to be honest. Almost everyone I know likes that show. Everyone I've talked to who's watched it at least. All right. The creator of Roger Rabbit, Gary K. Wolf, has returned has gotten his rights back for the book, which is who censored Roger Rabbit. Uh, yeah, so I think it's the day that time ended, or whatever the next one is the one I was going to do. To be clear, also. Um, but yeah, that's my plan. Is like do a Netflix one, and then do one of the older ones, and just keep coming back and do it that way. It's kind of my plan, but we'll see. Let's see. Um. Anyway, Roger Rabbit's creator Gary K. Wolf has gotten his copyright back for his book, at least, or for creating it from Who Censored Roger Rabbit. And he has the rights back to all my characters, all my books. I can basically do my own Roger Rabbit projects. But he also said that he won't do them unless it is any sequels we do would have to match the quality of the original 1988 movie in production value, in tone, and script content, and empathy, and character development. It has to be good or better than what we did before. That's what fans want. And I promise the fans that's what I'm going to give them. First off, dude, that's like one of the greatest films ever made. I don't think you're going to be able to do that, but I like your enthusiasm. I don't know. I think you got good for you, Chandler. I'm glad you got a discount for Best Buy. You should look into that. But yeah, Roger Rabbit, they've gotten the rights back. I don't know what he's going to do with it. I think obviously what he should do is finally make the Roger Rabbit show that Bonkers they had to make instead. This is obviously what he should do. 100%. Finally take down Bonkers. Everyone's talking about it. Every day, people are like, fuck Bonkers. I hear people say it on the subway all the time. They'll bump their knee and go, fuck that fucking Bonkers. I hate that guy. So, like, it's all Bonkers' fault, and fuck him. And let's take down Bonkers. All right, next up, Paramount Plus has canceled. I'm going to use this. Sorry. I have a handkerchief. All my homies hate Bonkers. What was I gonna say? Paramount Plus has canceled the new Dora reboot and Tales of TMNT. The Dora reboot, my son watched a little, but the problem with the Dora reboot is, uh, is there's like they have all the other Dora on there, so it's like you kind of like can watch a little bit, but you're like, well, watch this whole this other Dora, and so that other Dora sort of wins by default. I noticed like even kids I know who watched the new one end up just watching the old one. Tales of TMNT, I don't think was publicized enough as like the Knuckles show. There was ads everywhere and stuff. Tales of TMNT really wasn't publicized as much as the Knuckles show. I think they could. It was a good show, but I also think like my kids are watching the '80s one because of MeTV Tunes more. It is unfortunate that the last two. I think a lot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, the recent one, like Rise of TMNT and stuff, have been really well animated and really good. But I do think the public isn't really appreciating what's going on with them, and it seems like with peak nostalgia of the original show, it's not a great time for this. So I don't know. I think they could have done a better job, but they did it to like clear stuff. And Paramount, the Ellisons are sort of like pretending like there can't. I mean, I don't think either of those shows did as well, so I think it sort of makes sense. But like they are kind of playing this game of like, oh, we did this to like clean the slate and make it cleaner. And like, or you just fucked up, you dumbass. Um. Oh, they are gonna shop it around. Okay. I have a story about that later about a show. It's just confusing. Trust me. There's apparently going to be since William Ellman said since the first Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a pastiche of Chinatown, the sequel should have the same plot as The Long Goodbye. Oh, I love that. Yeah, it should. Yeah, it should. That's actually the best. Man, you just came up with that's like the best version I've heard of a Roger Rabbit. Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah. Only '70s noirs. Cheers, you all. Good suggestion. They're making a true crime DC show hosted by Jimmy Olsen. Uh, I think we assume it is the character Jimmy Olsen, and it's going to be centered around Gorilla Grodd. So will we learn about him killing Barack Obama? Look that up. I'm not joking. It's going to be from the creators of American Vandal. This actually sounds weird and interesting, and I will give James Gunn and Peter Safran, I guess, credit because this actually sounds interesting. Like I'm like that. I don't. If this is a disaster, I'm like at least you're open to do it, so I'll give them some credit if this for real happens. They also announced a V for Vendetta show, which to be honest sounds boring as fuck. But good luck to that, I guess. Neat for you. Um. Okay, we have a few things, and then box. I don't know if we'll get to everything, but we'll try. Don't make America grot again. I don't usually like the Make America jokes, but that was good. John Woo and Nicolas Cage are going to reunite since Face Off in a biopic about Gambino, about the notorious New York King crime boss Carlo Gambino, which will be played by Nicolas Cage. I think this could be cool. I did not see his movie Silent Night or whatever, and I've still been meaning to see that. Maybe I should check that out. But it's cool that just work with Chow Yun Fat. That's really what I want. But that's cool. They kind of Nicolas Cage I think adds a bit to Face Off and his craziness. So if you can bring that craziness, that's cool. So K-pop Demon Hunters is we have to have a story about this every week, and there always is a story, so it's fine. They did get some Grammy nominations. I should have talked about the Grammy nominations, I guess, but good for Eclipse getting a best album. That was awesome. And Kendrick always gets nominated, so I don't. Good for him. I don't. It's kind of like, oh yeah, it's cool. So the creator got in there. I was surprised by it. But K-pop Demon Hunters are apparently not eligible for the BAFTAs. Apparently, Netflix appealed, claiming the limited event screenings and other screenings should count, but they said, based on their consideration, it did not. Here's my thing about the BAFTAs. I used to take them seriously until I realized they never, in the whole history of the BAFTAs and the history of Denzel Washington's career, all of it, not like recently, they've never nominated Denzel Washington. I'm not acting like he's the greatest actor ever. He's certainly very good. but I do not understand. Like Malcolm X, like Training Day, like Fences, like all of it, like all of it. Like anytime someone's like take the BAFTA seriously, I'm like, but just like no Denzel Washington. Like I just don't. Why? What is up with that? What the fuck is going on there? Like I want someone to explain that shit. Like someone in the BAFTAs. Like unless I'm wrong. Hold on? Let me look this up because I've heard that before. Denzel Washington BAFTA nominations. Okay, let's see. Okay, everybody, how come? Yeah, he has 9 Oscar nominations in acting categories, winning 2. This is on Reddit. I'm just reading a Reddit. What is up with that? Like, that's just strange. Like, I don't understand. Yeah. Oh, no. There's an article from the last time there were BAFTAs. He wasn't nominated for Gladiator. Like, come on. Like, he's still alive. Like, you could correct this. And it's still embarrassing. Why? Like, what is up with that? Like, what is going on, guys? Like, all of it? Like, all of it. All, like, everything he ever did. Like, you couldn't just... Whatever. Who's worse, BAFTAs or Golden Globes? I mean, Zane Powers. It's still the Golden Globes, but this is just so... I will not take them seriously if you're just never going to nominate Denzel Washington. That's just a very weird thing to do. You know, it's like, okay, we fucked up on Malcolm X, but we did Mo Better Blues, and like... No Morgan Freeman? Wait, what? Okay, now, you know what? I'm not taking you seriously. Are you fucking for real? Are you serious? Sorry. Wait, Morgan Freeman. Is this like a black actor thing? BAFTA. I'll look it up. I'm going to look it up. I want to know this. I didn't know this one too. Okay. Is this true? Wait, no, he hasn't been. What the fuck? I'm not taking you serious. Morgan Freeman too. Both of them. Anyway, I'm glad a lot of people aren't home yet because they don't want to be yelling about the fucking. No, Jared Leto. I'm not looking up fucking Jared Leto. Anyway, Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna just drink this because I forgot. All right. Where are we in the script? Okay. Oh, okay. Gareth Edward in Jurassic Rebirth news. I was also thinking. Sorry, I don't understand. Like, how do you? It's definitely some racist shit. Like, I'm sorry. White people are always saying this shit, and then it's like, Christopher Stuckman? Wait, his middle name is Christopher Michael? I didn't know that. Such a white guy name. All right. Sorry, I don't want to wake up the kids, but that is, like, shocking. Did they not nominate Lakeith? He's, like, my favorite presently. He's crazy, and I like that. Like, you never know what he's going to do. Don't tell me. I don't want to know right now. I'll look it up later and get mad. Gareth Edwards is coming back. They're trying to get him back, or he's coming back for the Jurassic World Rebirth sequel. They're also trying to get the 3 leads, those being Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali. It looks like they're going to keep the main things because that movie made a lot of money. Oh, hey, Soph, what's up?
We just came back.
Oh, okay.
Guess what show we just... Hey, people, guess what show we just saw? We just saw this show. What was it called again?
Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors.
Was it really good?
Ooh, yeah, and
you got it signed?
And we got it all signed. And Casey, my favorite girl.
No.
My favorite girl was Audrey. She was playing girl Audrey, and she was my favorite character. But she was an understudy, and I have proof that. And I have proof that she's an understudy.
Be careful, that's wet or something. You're fine.
And I have proof that she's an understudy.
What?
Boom. Wait, no, that was because she was supposed to be playing someone else. So there was an understudy, and then there was an understudy for that understudy.
Oh, but they were really good?
Yes. And Barbie's at the back.
Yeah.
Selling perfume.
Yeah, that's true.
But we only did 4 because all I wanted was just for Audrey.
Yeah.
Oscar! I'm gonna get Oscar.
Okay. Well, he might be cranky if he just woke up.
Oscar!
Okay, sorry. They saw a little shop of horrors tonight. All right, so Gareth Edwards. Looks like most of the people are coming back for Jurassic World Rebirth because it did very, very well. Nice little love it. And it looks like they're all coming back. We don't really understand what the plot is, but apparently they do want to spend a little more time developing the script because the last one was rushed because they didn't have a Fast and Furious movie in that slot. So Gareth Edwards apparently wants to spend more time developing because he really didn't. He was just giving a script to direct, and that worked out. But I think because it made so much, but I'm curious how they're going to do that, how they're going to go back, but whatever. Lily Orchard, who's that? All right, the Final Destination guys who are actually going to maybe work on some Spielberg stuff are working on this film called Long Lost. It's apparently about a woman whose husband's long lost wife suddenly returns. The directors of the Final Destination Bloodlines, they have a tie to Spielberg, and that's because they were on Spielberg's reality show On the Lot, and that's how Spielberg knows them and has a relationship with them. So that is actually apparently a lot of people are like, why is he so interested in them? Apparently, he has been helping with their careers since his reality show, and that's where they come from. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Okay. Let's talk about where are we? Okay. I have a few stories, then we'll do box office, and then we'll see what we can still talk about. There's a lot. I think I spent too much time being silly. Um. Okay, I'll probably turn off the lights in a little bit, but thank you all for your generosity tonight. I'm really thankful. So the Paramount Zaz thing. There's a couple. If Zaslav is brought into Paramount, there's been a lot of rumors. One of the reports was that if Paramount and Zaz get together, Zaz would be, or David Zaslav would be running it. Apparently, supposedly they have mentioned and they have talked about making a blacklist of people who aren't, who do not feature their same political likes, which is worrying and crazy and scary. I hope that's not true. That seems to be a thing. However, they are going to do more theatrical. They're talking about doing about 16 movies a year at some point, and more MAGA stuff. They want to do more MAGA stuff, unfortunately, and they want to lean more towards that politically because we know the Ellisons want to do that, as well as they're talking about. We learned last week they don't want to do Star Trek 4, which I feel like as long as I've been doing movie news, we've always what cat? What are we talking about? Oh, that's like Oscar. That's not my cat. That's not my cat. You just woke up because they came home and it woke him up. Oh, Lakeith was nominated. Thank you. I was wondering like what are they talking about? And I didn't understand. But they haven't blacklisted people yet, and we'll see. But they are talking about rebooting Star Trek. I do not think we need another rebooted Kirk. I hope they do a rebooted. I think a next gen would be the smartest move to reboot anything with Star Trek because that's more. I think it's a little untapped in terms of reboot stuff, and the movies never really worked out, and so we could probably do a movie of that and like do a good Star Trek Next Generation movie for once and stuff like that. So I think they're more open. There's more possibility with that there. But we'll see. Edward's milking like Wingard's Kong. Oh, that's true. There are also a lot of rumors about Universal. There's always been rumors that Universal has been buying WB. No, it's okay. I think it probably sounded different It's just funny. I was like, why are they saying that? Anyway, I couldn't figure it out. There have always been rumors that Universal is really the one who's going to buy WB and not Paramount. I honestly think Paramount buying Warner's is probably the worst move because Ellison hasn't done anything yet. Like he really hasn't ran Paramount yet. So to me, I think Universal would probably be a better move. But we'll see. There's also rumors that like, Disney could, one studio could end up with the animation, another studio could end up with this. And I just hope Adult Swim survives and all that stuff. But we'll see. It seems to be very up in the air. But we'll see what happens ultimately. But a lot of this is like speculative and no one seems to know shit. But they are probably going to reboot Star Trek. As for Starfleet Academy and all that, it sounds like they're still going to be doing that. It was also announced today that there's going to be Netflix is doing the next show from the Apple and Onion creator. It's called Living the Dream. It follows best friends Des and Ray, a couple of guys from London who feel they should have made it big by now. Instead, they're stuck working on at a social media company. It sounds like a cool idea. Um, it sounds like a cool idea, but no, he's just upset. It sounded like a cool idea. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to see it. I didn't see enough Apple and Onion, so maybe we'll see there. All right. Two things. Oscar Isaacs had a claim because people are all asking each of the reboot cast, I guess, about if they'll return to Disney. Where's the Old Guard 3? It took long enough to get Old Guard 2. They really missed an opportunity waiting so long. Um, Oscar Isaac said he'd be open to it, although he said before, like, if I need a new house or need to pay something off, he said he'd be open to it, although right now I'm not so open to work with Disney. But if they can figure it out and, not succumb to fascism, that would be great. Actually, I don't usually do actor says a thing news, but I like this because it's like, um, fuck you guys. Like, I'm not working with you because you guys kind of suck. So I appreciated that, and they honestly they'll have to deal with them at some point. So it's like I like that he uses power to call them out because they should call them out because they shouldn't. Um, they shouldn't do that. Okay. It's pretty much been confirmed that actress Danielle Deadwyler will be the female lead in Ryan Coogler's X-Files show. We don't know who else is going to be it. We don't know also if she's playing more of the Mulder or the Scully or they're doing different things or anything, but we're pretty much confident that Daniel Detweiler is going to be in his reboot of the X-Files, which is, I think, good for her because she hasn't really had a huge role outside of that. And I think that would be good. Somehow Palpatine has returned. I mean, they made him say that shit, so no, I don't think he's going to be in those Avengers movies, or maybe he has, but he said he's not working for Disney. But anyway, I thought I mentioned Daniel Detweiler thing. I think we'll get more of a formal announcement eventually. Okay, so box office. Let's talk about this, and particularly Predator Bloodlines, which I haven't Badlands, which I haven't seen yet. Did I put Bloodlines in the So X Files International. A couple of people have mentioned that when they talk about the X Files. I'm like, don't bring up that Mission Men in Black movie. Predator Badlands did very well. In fact, it's actually the best opening weekend for a Predator movie, and I think was adjusted for inflation. It's second only to Alien vs Predator 1, which to me means it's still the best opening weekend for just a solo Predator movie. I sort of feel like that should be a different thing, but whatever. What's interesting about this is it actually brings up how streaming can work for theatrical. And I do think, like, similar to what we're talking about with the anime stuff, like Chainsaw Man or Demon Slayer, that built itself through. I'm going to stop flashing lights for a little bit, but thank you very much for all your generosity so far hearing the show. Um, because like I think I mentioned last week and stuff, that it was kind of weird that Dan Trachtenberg, this is his third Predator movie, and this is the first one in theaters. And like that, you had Prey, you had Killer of Killers, and you had Predator Badlands, and it's sort of weird that like we had this build for so long, and it eventually came to theaters. But it's interesting like how they're able to use the Hulu buzz to eventually blow up a movie was pretty smart actually. I think the Predator, how they used it, and I think like most of the movie press and industry was not sure how that would happen, or if it would work out. And I think it did work out actually, which is actually really good. I don't think the streamers are going to use this lesson correctly. I think they'll say, well, maybe it'll work out for Mandalorian and Grogu, which I don't think is the same thing necessarily, but I do think what we had with Predator Badlands is cool, but it was the highest grossing thing so far. It needs to make over $80 million to be the biggest, highest grossing Predator movie ever, which would be double what it made this weekend, which is very possible. So this might end up actually being the highest grossing Predator movie. And there is actually rumors, a lot of rumors, that they're talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger about returning, although that was hinted at in Killer of Killers. But I assume that was an animated thing, so we'll see. But it's like more hinted, and he did do some press for the new Predator, and he's saying he's open to it. And other studio people, not just him. So, oh, how close are you? We are at like four. It's like $4 or less than $4 off. Just to be clear. Um, I should have like if I had more time to set up like a thing that a countery thing or like a gauge or something. That would be nice at some point. The other ones that were doing well is Regretting You continues to not fall off too much. It only fell off about 14.9%. And didn't lose that many theaters. I think this is good. I know this might not be a movie any of you will see, but I think it's good for the industry as a whole to have a rom com or of the It Ends With Us doing as well as it is and holding as well. But I know the industry won't say anything about it because this, I think Predator Badlands made more than it did in 2 weeks. So they will not. Is that 2 weeks or three? It hasn't been out for long enough. No, 3 weeks. Yeah, Predator Badlands outgrossed it already, so I don't think they'll look at that as much. But I think it should be looked at as a success that we're not just doing horror movies and action movies, and that is actually holding as well as it is. Black Phone 2 continues to do pretty decent. I didn't know Nuremberg was out. I really didn't realize that. I don't really understand why we need this. Wasn't Judgment at Nuremberg a pretty big movie? I do not know what Sarah Zoyle is. Is it like a religious thing? Anyway, it did really well. It got an A cinema score, which I don't really agree with the cinema score thing. Chainsaw Man is continuing to hold well for an anime. It's not in the top five, but it's number. So also, Predator Badlands outgrows that too. Everything other than Black Phone and Tron Ares was outgrossed by Predator Badlands in the top 10. Die My Love didn't particularly open well. And we're seeing that a lot, and I will talk about Christie, because I know that was requested a lot. Die My Love is more of an art film, so I sort of get that. But Christie really didn't do well, and we keep seeing all these like bigger hyped industry movie star movies completely fall the fuck off. Like after The Hunt, after the what was it? Not After the Hunt. After well, I can't even fucking find it because it did so bad. Jesus. Was it After the Hunt? That one did very well badly. We also saw, or yeah, Smashing Machine. Thank you, William Ellman. It's just a very interesting Oscar year because I've never seen ones that are as hyped, not only not do well, but then it seems like all their Oscar chances get pushed off the cliff as well. Christie, well, what is also interesting is Iron Fist definitely had more public support than Smashing Machine and Christie, but I feel like I heard more about Christie and Smashing Machine before they came out than Iron Fist. So part of me is like, I should finally edit my review of Iron Fist. I would like to see Smashing Machine. Christie, I just don't, there was nothing I saw of it. It just sort of looked like an I, Tonya type thing. I just wasn't, nothing struck me about it, but William Owen said, with the Smash Machine and Christie both being historical bonds, is America sick of boxing movies? Or is just that movie stars that were in them? I think the thing is, though, the director, who directed Christie anyway? I think, first off, cheers to you, William Owen. I guess I believe we're back to another. Yes, we will. We'll bring back the flashy. Not Iron Fist. Isn't it Iron Fist? What was that? The Iron. Let's see, Christie movie. Who directed that? I'm curious. I just don't. I think like the thing with Sydney Sweeney is she's just sort of starting. David Michaud? Oh man, Animal Kingdom was amazing. I didn't know he did that. He kind of fell off, so I'm a little okay. Now I'm a little more interested. I really liked Animal Kingdom, but nothing as much since. Um I do think okay, yeah, the Brad Pitt thing was not. Iron Claw. Sorry everybody. Oh, hello Grace Reza. I think that's her name. Iron Claw. But I think it's like the Rocket made a little more sense because there's history there and the Safdies, but one, there are all these documentaries there. I also do think it's like the Rocket made more sense and it was surprising. Sydney Sweeney doesn't have a huge persona. She was really killing it for a little bit, but it's like that thing where like a movie star is only worth as much as the genre that people will see them in. And I didn't see After the Hunt and any of these Oscar movies that were supposed to be things. But like, I think if she was in a horror movie and she's like dressed the way people, I'm not trying to be gross, but like that would obviously make more. But her as a boxing thing, like I feel like that she did that move too early. I do think people don't get though why her and The Rock did these apology things, and I understand the reasoning behind it actually, because the reasoning behind it is they want to say, hey, I don't want to not do these movies anymore. I do want to do these kind of movies, despite this bombing. The thing with The Rock, though, is I saw people on Twitter call him out and say, well, he's just going to announce Jumanji 3 or 4 or whatever, and the Moana live action thing. Those are already set up before this. Like, if the Smashing Machine made $1 billion, he was still going to make Jumanji 3 and the Moana. Thanks, Leo. Moana live action remake. Those were always going to happen. He could have won Best Actor and become the president of the universe, but he was always scheduled to do this. So like, I think that's a little ridiculous, but I do think it's surprising how many of these, and even like industry people have been like, this is a very surprising Oscar year because we've never seen so many of them just like flummox, and like we've seen some that like do well and the critics didn't like them and like the box office sort of worked out, but like fucking nothing. And that is a definite change. And especially the industry was more behind them than usual. I think the industry wanted both because they were very pro Sydney Sweeney and the Smashing Machine, and it didn't work out. Much more the Smashing Machine. But I don't know. It's also like October really didn't know what to do with itself movie wise, and I think that didn't help. And it really does feel like the industry is just holding its like crossing its fingers, like, come on, Zootopia 2 and Zootopia 2 and Wicked 2, please save us. So they also like, I do think people are sick of this like very Scorsese influenced biopic thing, which I'm assuming they are. I didn't see them, but I don't know. It's like, are you gonna do better than Raging Bull? But I saw Chicken Run got a re-release and that did okay. But it is interesting how crazy this this year has been for big Oscar things. This has really been a fairly remarkable year in terms of that. I really have not seen this before. I do think like this might make it open more for Sinners and One Battle After Another. I have noticed there isn't sort of a what I would call a movie pundit friendly movie like a Green Book or a one of those like Oscar like movies that are only there for the Oscar campaign and then like you don't really talk about that much after. I can't think of another one right now, but Oscar Schmaltz sort of thing. And it does feel like with the biopics falling as much as they are, that it's going to be interesting. Or like Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere. I don't think that's going to get any nominations. That flummoxed too. It's like really interesting. I do think like if you're going to continue award stuff, you probably should be thinking more about horror. And I mean, Sinners was very well regarded and stuff, but I do feel like this year is more about K-pop Demon Hunters and Sinners than it is about these movie stars failing to make interesting movies. It's gonna be an interesting Oscar. All right, I do have to pee, and there I didn't. Okay, we're gonna talk about Tubi, and then we're gonna do one obit and then take a break. Um, there are other stuff. Oh, um, I don't really want to do a Tubi voice with kids screaming and stuff in the background, but I'll talk about this Poker Face news, then Tubi news, and then break. So Poker Face was canceled by Peacock after 2 seasons, which uh or Peacock decided not to renew it, but Natasha Lyonne exited as the star. I'm assuming these are unrelated, but Ryan Johnson and his like company thinks there are many mysteries ahead for the show's signature character to solve, and last night began an effort to shop the show to other broadcasters for a 2 season commitment. The difference is they do not have Natasha Lyonne. They want Peter Dinklage to then take over the role of Charlie that Natasha Lyonne was playing, and her superpower is the inability to detect lies. So it'd basically be the same show, but suddenly Natasha Lyonne is Peter Dinklage. Um, I don't understand this move at all, particularly because it seems like she doesn't want to continue, and they do, and that's not even an understandable recast. Like that's such a weird. I don't know if like each time they're gonna do a different. Like when Daniel Craig leaves the Knives Out thing, are they gonna do like a um just such a strange, really a strange re I don't understand. It's like such a weird thing. Apparently Ryan Johnson very much likes the this show and really wants to do it, but it's just so weird. Like I just make a different show, man. I don't understand. Anyway, cheers to Willie Woman. And he said the Oscar bait movie this year that stands a chance of winning is Hamnet. I would say I would agree with that. It is sort of Oscar baity and so forth. But yeah, cheers to you, man. All right. I don't think I can do the Tommy Tooby voice for this, but so the town, which is a podcast that's like an industry podcast. Some of them I listen to are dry, but the town is like this guy who's always yelling, goes, "Welcome to the town. We're part of the rewatchables," and like all this like yelling and like millennial dude nonsense, which I don't really like the host at all. But he had the chairman of Tubi on. This is like actually interesting Tubi news. Um, um, the Tubi apparently is now. I know we talked about how streaming platforms it takes a while to be profitable. Tubi is actually now profitable. It's actually 2.1% of all streaming is Tubi, and it's actually much bigger than Pluto, which is its only major competition. There's a lot of free streaming, but most of it doesn't do very well. But Tubi does do well. Apparently, it's more because of younger audiences are more used to what she said, which I actually think is interesting. The head of Tubi, who I didn't write her name down, which I apologize for. I will post a link to this podcast because it's interesting that because the app makes it more like you can just go to different things and stuff, but they try to make it more like social media because they've found that younger audiences expect things to be free because happy birthday, Austin. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Austin. I hope you have a good birthday. I hope you get to play some cool games and shit. And congratulations. Thanks for always being here, man. I always appreciate it. But yeah, they said that younger audiences are really liking it, but younger audiences are more, or Gen Z is more used to free things. So that's why Tubi has taken off more with younger audiences than older audiences because they expect to pay for things. They live streamed the Super Bowl, which I forgot about, which is about 24 million people streamed it on Tubi, and 40% of their audience is 18 to 34. And I also learned that. They do revenue share apparently with most of their stuff on there, which is actually really cool of them. They might actually end up paying more than Netflix, particularly for indie movies. They try to get various different fan bases and not have a huge hit thing that's not of their interest necessarily, even though they have gotten the top 10. And and they have noticed that classic cartoons like she mentioned the Flintstones and Looney Tunes have been a big hit with Gen Z, and they're trying to do more of that. So it's actually interesting. All right, my one obit, and I should take a break and check on what is going on out there. Sally Kirkland, who died this past week. There's a lot of people that, but I didn't really have as much to say about everyone, and I don't like to speak on people who I don't like to. I like to actually know what I'm talking about. So, but she was in things like The Way We Were, Bruce Almighty, The Sting, and she was a pretty accomplished actress. And if you Google her, I feel like most people at least know what she looks like. So, R.I.P. to her. It's sad to see her go. Also, oh wait, there is another one. Hold on. Um, the director of Die Another Day and uh Once We Were Warriors, which I think is his more acclaimed movie, and Next, and Triple X with the Ice Cube in it. Died recently. I didn't really like many of his big studio stuff, but Once We Were Warriors is actually a really good movie. So R.I.P. to him. All right, I'm going to take a break, and then we will talk about Edgar Wright's early film Dead Right, which sorry I miswrote on the I think I wrote Dead Rising or something, but it's Dead Right, his early film, which we'll talk about after the break, and then we'll do questions, and then that will be it. I will be where are we? Right back after this. Sorry, it's gotten a little crazy tonight. Anyway, I'll be right back after this. It might take me a minute. Thank you all for your generosity tonight, and I will be right back after this. Okay, hello, we are back. Sorry about, I think that it took a little bit, but yeah, I probably should have taken a break a little bit before. My bad. On that one, a little crazy. I wonder how that sounded. With with all the craziness going on. Well, my son woke up and he wasn't feeling good. And got a little crazy when everyone got home. But now everyone's asleep, so, or at least in bed while they hear me talk about an Edgar Wright movie. I'm trying to think what else. I didn't really talk about the throwbacks, but I did pray and the story of G.I. Joe, and I should post because I didn't really get to talk about that. The story of G.I. Joe. I'll talk about that real quick. Um, it's a really cool World War II movie because it's from William Wellman, who I did that whole series of a very long time ago. But it's a cool World War II movie because there's an idea that World War II movies are always very positive and pro-war and stuff. And by the end of 40, I think the end of like right before the bomb and all that, people were not into the war anymore. It had been going on for a while. And the story of G.I. Joe is sort of about that. And what's also interesting about William Wellman, uh, yeah, the BAFTA thing did happen right before, but I'm glad that wasn't happening at the same time. That would have been really crazy. Um, what was I going to say? Story of GI Joe is really about like the feeling of it. And I talked to my grandfather who's in World War II about that, and he was like, yes, that was actually the feeling at the time. Was that like, will this ever end? This is like an eternal war or something, like because everyone's gone, it's going on. There's rationing. Like it really was getting to people at that point. But the other thing is William Wellman is kind of interesting because he sort of ends the World War II movie genre with the story of G.I. Joe. And then, like, I forget how many years later, he makes the film Battleground, which sort of restarts the let's make a nostalgic look at World War II kind of movies. So it's actually kind of an interesting bookend of the end of World War II during World War II movies. I'm sure there were a few after, but it was the last like major one. And then he made the one that restarted it. So even though he was not a groundsman, he was a flyer in World War One. Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to bring that up. And it's on Tubi. It's really good. And if you're like, I don't want to watch a pro World War II movie, it's not. And it's actually probably a better movie for Veterans Day anyway. And Robert Mitchum's in it. Robert Mitchum's awesome. If you didn't know, Robert Mitchum's awesome. All right. Also, seriously, happy birthday to Austin. That's awesome. We got to celebrate it tonight. Should Austin do the daily questions tomorrow? I'm not sure. But anyway, happy birthday, Austin. That's awesome. I hope you have a good day. Let us know what you did. Or don't. It's your birthday. Do whatever the fuck you want. Alright, tonight I'm going to talk about what Edgar Wright considers his last amateur movie, sort of made during, I guess, film school or something. Called Dead Right. This is introduced by Edgar Wright. I believe I'm not sure if this is on the Hot Fuzz DVD or something. But he says, I've never seen a director said, we had fun making it, and I'm sure you'll probably have less fun watching it. That's a good endorsement. It's basically like about what did he call Dead Right? It's very much playing with the English idea of like it's funny to have a kind of an action movie in it because he called it either a Lethal Weapon set in Somerset or a Dirty Harry film set in Somerset. And it does actually film in some of the locations that Hot Fuzz would later film in. It's very cartoony and silly, and actually makes me think I would love to know what Edgar Wright's favorite Bugs Bunny movie is, or Bugs Bunny cartoon is. But it's sort of interesting in that it constantly is breaking the fourth wall. All the stuff is very goofy and silly. We know that there's this killer with an orange coat at the beginning. It's, I would say, a very post Shane Black action movie. And it's interesting comparing this to Hot Fuzz. Obviously, technically, Hot Fuzz is a lot better and is a better movie. But Hot Fuzz is more post like Michael Bay and action movies at that time, whereas this is more Lethal Weapon. It definitely Dirty Harry and the action movies at that time. So it's sort of like if you watch them both, it'd be sort of the evolution of action movies that Edgar Wright liked. Um, but it is interesting. The serial at one point, it's just like sort of a silly, action movie that some kids made, and then the other detective literally stops the movie. Um, he literally stops the movie to explain the serial killer format. Um, and to explain the serial killer format, and even that there's going to be a shootout and male bonding, and then everyone goes, "Is there going to be a cartridge?" But there's not going to be a cartridge. Where it goes, "Oh," and this guy comes out and goes, I go, "Come on, this is a British film." Although there are cartridges in British films, but I like the implication was funny. Okay, it was released on the Hot Fuzz. I thought so, but it is very much like a film student who really likes Shane Black, who does not have the budget, trying to do an all-limited thing. I think is do that. They do ask to look at the script quite frequently. It's also has a serial killer who hates cereal, which is very funny. Um, there is a guy in this called Ian Hill. It is not the guy from Judas Priest, but for some reason on various sites it links to the guy from Judas Priest, but the guy from Judas Priest is not in this. There is one of the other guys who looks like he's the guy from Judas Priest, but he's not, just to clear that up. And this was shot in the same supermarket where Edgar Wright worked, and then they eventually shot Hot Fuzz in as well. And they have a cool baguette sword fight, which I quite liked. Um, and they even this was shot on SVHS and made over the course of kind of a year on weekends and stuff. Um, and they even bring out like they do a lot of fourth wall breaking. And go, how do you know that? I'm like because of the script and stuff like that. And they do a funny thing where they actually bring Edgar Wright out. What? Cineram, really? I'm confused by that. Is that a? Did you really? Okay. They actually bring the director out and shoot him, and then bring someone else out direct. I sort of wish when they brought out this random girl to direct, like her director vision had changed, but maybe that's just I'm maybe asking too much of that. But it has a certain like lo-fi cool quality to it. It does definitely shows you like he really loved like messing around and playing with the form and like breaking the fourth wall. But he really like got this film to pop. Like I had fun watching it. Usually student films that try to have fun are definitely not, and he really got that. And like SVHS, which I barely remember. I mean, I'm assuming he had really clunky video cameras to film it, but like they still had a lot of fun and like having fun. Uh, I don't know, having fun with like the formula and understanding like, well, this isn't going to look like Lethal Weapon, obviously, so we might as well have fun with it, which I think really works. Like, there's certain thing to be said, and especially if you have no budget, like I have no budget, like get that to work for you. Don't get it to not work for you. And I think that says something about being an interesting director when you get something to work for you. And that is how he got that to happen, honestly, is because uh, I, I think if he had tried to make this like a serious thing, this would have sucked. But because he had fun with it, and he's making fun of himself and making fun of the idea of like a Lethal Weapon movie in Somerset and stuff, it works with it, which I think is really smart. In a sense, like you can tell he has a real director's vision and stuff, and you can tell it's like an early thing to Hot Fuzz. And even like seeing like something like The Running Man, you can see like he really liked action and saying stuff with action and messing around with it and commenting on it and stuff, which I think is actually really cool. And I like the idea of a serial killer who hates cereal and has a cereal gang and like, he like I don't know, so many like weird, interesting little gags in this. I think Edgar Wright looks like he had a lot of fun and learned a lot from it. I obviously this is not as good as his feature films and stuff, which I should review the two I haven't at some point. But I've reviewed all the ones posed. I just haven't done Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz to be honest. But you can kind of miss like there's no Simon Pegg, there's no Nick Frost, the casting isn't as good and stuff. But they still all get it to work. It looks like they're having fun and really getting the kind of movie they're making. They're sort of making a parody in a sense, because they're not trying to make a serious thing, and I think that really works for it. I think it's like if you are making something on a shitty quality thing, if you're having fun with it and really understand the kind of thing you're making, you can really make something pop. And I think he did. Like a Dirty Harry in Somerset is a funny idea, and that's what he did. You know, it's he really had fun with it. Like even the opening chase, like he keeps looking back, and the guy's like looking up or like sitting in a lawn chair. Like he had fun like cutting between and stuff. You can tell there's a real um this is a really labored over, interested, directed film. Like, and it probably worked over a year. He could really focus on each part he's working on, and you can tell that. Like, you can get that he really likes movies and he likes messing with them and commenting on them. So, it's some real Bugs Bunny shit throughout this, but it worked for it. And I would like to know more of like what cartoons he liked, just specifically after this one. But and I know there's certain sequences in the action that would go on to the action in Hot Fuzz. But I had fun with this. It is not I know it's considered his sort of like last amateur film, but it definitely shows promise, and I get like why he got to make, Spaced and everything after that. You can see the promise in this that would go on with that. And I thought he did a really good job, and it's a fun little watch. Um it's Dead Right, the first one he wrote. Dead RIGHT. But it's like a fun little watch and fun to see where Edgar Wright came from before he started working in British TV and then eventually movies and so forth and so on. That he was always sort of questioning stuff and messing around and having fun and always sort of making comedies. He really had a real interesting comedic voice even back then. So I don't know. I had fun watching. It wasn't the most amazing thing. Sorry. Um, it, it, hold on. Sorry. It wasn't the most amazing thing, and it wasn't his most professional thing, but it wasn't trying to. But it shows an amateur who really wanted to break out and say something about movies. Okay, hold on. This movie is an example of like, hold on, let me get some water and I'll do the end of this real quick. Okay. No, it's just phlegmy. Sorry. All right. But I think he had a lot of fun with this. You can tell, like, for an amateur, he really loved movies and loved action movies. You can tell that spirit and that enthusiasm that would come through in all his stuff. He has a lot going on and a lot of influences hitting him at once, but it's kind of like seeing someone develop that and know he kind of could have an interesting voice by using all those things together and making kind of an interesting, kind of cool amateur film. I know, yeah, Tarantino doesn't like My Best Friend's Birthday. It was hard to find what I could find, but a lot of it is lost anyway, even the clips you can find when I made that video or whatever back then. All right. Since I'm gonna write questions below. If anyone, I know it's been a really, thank you all very much for the super chat tonight. If this is your last chance, if you would like to do so tonight, but let's just get the questions and get out of here. Jim is a little verklempt. All right, let's do Austin's first, and then I'll do the other Patreon ones. Hey Jim, hope you're doing well. What a great show. Sorry, asleep last week. Went to gym before the show, so it's very sleepy. But by the time you're reading this question, it'll be my birthday. It is. Happy birthday again, man. My question is for you. Minus The Running Man, since many people haven't seen it, do you think we will ever get a good remake of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Also, Total Recall was not real. It's implanted in every brain back in 2012. No, Total Recall doesn't count. I was actually thinking of Eraser. I would say possibly. I know they've talked about Twins. I know they talked about a lot of Kindergarten Cop. I'm surprised John Cena hasn't remade that or something. Um, what were some of the other ones? I'm trying to think what. I mean, they tried Conan, and that I think you actually could do a good Conan, and I'm surprised we're not getting like there hasn't been a Conan show, especially after Game of Thrones. You think after Game of Thrones, um, there would be. I'm trying to think what else. Cobra is Stallone. Oh, Last Action Hero. I actually think you could do Last Action Hero if you got like a good enough director. You could probably like Lord and Miller could do Last Action. I give them a lot of credit on things, but I think Last Action Hero would work. I'll do Sid Ram's alongside. We'll do his last, even though he is doing the super chat tonight. I believe he does a very good job. Thank you for doing that for me, man. What would Nathaniel Fogg asked? What would you want of a new Roger Rabbit film? William Elman said a long goodbye. I would also wouldn't mind maybe doing something like the Maltese Falcon, like having them go after a famous animation thing, or even having Double Indemnity. Well, I guess they started to do Double Indemnity, but you could I think if you did um a different film noir, if that's sort of Chinatown, I would do a different major one that's a major influence, but I would say something like that. But I don't know. I kind of feel like Roger Rabbit's sort of perfect. So it's like, I don't know if you'd want to do it, or you could just do a show. I think that would work. Sinram says, I feel it's my duty to inform you, the Gisrielites at large, and our greater society that MTV does in fact still play music videos. More specifically, a sub MTV channel called MTV Live. I'm surprised they still do it. I didn't know that. I heard they canceled everything. Which plays hour-long blocks of HD music videos by currently charting artists, live performances, specials, and an assortment of music-related shows. You may be aware of MTV2, the original MTV offshoot channel. Regrettably, the only one show repeats of The Fresh Prince and the Jamie Foxx Show with other older MTV programming such as Jersey Shore. However, there's another sub MTV channel called MTV Classic, which devotes multiple hours a week to blocks of rock, hip hop, pop music from MTV's earlier decades. MTV Classic also boasts a revival of 120 minutes during the late hours of Saturday and Sunday. Do you believe me? I actually didn't know. I remember watching those, but like when I had cable, I didn't know they were still going because I had read reports that it wasn't. Maybe it's still going for now or something. But I hope, I think they should keep it going because I don't know. It was always really cool. Those kind of channels. I'm surprised they're not on Pluto, but I guess Vivo kind of takes care of it. It's good that they're doing something because from all the reports, it sounded like they were doing fucking nothing. It sounded really bad. So I'm glad they're doing something. Oh, and I forgot to mention I did the Shelby Oaks. I guess I did. Anyway, sorry. I just saw that. I was like, did I not mention that? I don't know. All right. Let's do the questions. Okay. Cornbread. Question. Tying this into Mario 2, and also since it's already here, there's a Mario balloon for Thanksgiving parade. I didn't know that, but I'll watch it. It makes him the first Italian balloon or whatever, right? Well, I mean, Felix the cat is Italian, I guess. So, no, I think it has Mario not been in the parade before? That seems. I don't know. Is he the first Mario appearance? I'm not sure if that's true. Zane Powers, would a blacklist over politics at Paramount even be feasible? Like, would shareholders be okay with Ellison saying they wouldn't get Pedro Pascal because he doesn't like Trump? Probably not, honestly. A lot of people question, like, how could you even do that? Which I think, like, all these guys are not thinking about the over business sense and, like, how that would fuck them over, but whatever. Super Dusky's Jim said, Jim, have you heard of Dispatch? I think you'd enjoy it. It's a mostly visual video game with supervillains being heroes, and you play as their dispatcher and former superhero. I did not really know about that. What is that on? I've never. Sorry, I don't know much about games. Zane Powers, does your guilty conscience force you to vote for Zoran, but inside you secretly long for a cold-hearted Scylla to lower taxes purely and rule you like a king? Sure. Cornbread. Writing off Austin's questions, you notice that last week and this week's big movie are both in series Arnold originally starred in. I barely see anyone mention that. I was surprised more people aren't mentioning that. Originally, they were going to come out the same weekend. Um, and I was going to try to review the originals, but I don't think I have time. But yeah, I did notice that there isn't as much talk of that. And there's even talk of like Stallone, like they're making a new Rambo movie, doing a Rocky behind the scenes movie, and they're doing that without him. So it feels like these guys are sort of being replaced in their own franchises. But I've heard more talk about Stallone than Schwarzenegger, who clearly more people are actually seeing his remake. So, Austin, what should I do for my birthday? You should do what you want, man. But I think you should also do fun stuff that you want to do. So, sleep in. I'll do that. It's my birthday. Are we still haven't gotten that Nosferatu trailer? I'm surprised anyone saw that movie because they never made a Nosferatu trailer. Did it even come out? Super Kirby dude, would you live in Roku City? I would, but it's just too gentrified for me now. Maybe back in the day. They always have, but now that they have the ads in it, it's like it's kind of fun, but sometimes you're like, oh, I don't know. I think it's just like on everybody's thing. I did like when I heard the interview with the Tubi lady. They were like, well, Roku's building. She's like, yeah, but Roku's a different thing. I was like, she's not wrong though. What Zane Powers? What would you want them to do in a Critic reboot? Movie parodies are way more common. So would you want Jay Sherman coming attractions to be making Star Wars or Marvel jokes at this point? Why is that still flashing? Do I just have this keep flashing for this long? Well, there's a lot of super chats. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I think you would have to rethink a lot. I think that would be probably the hardest part of making that. Theta a favorite Weezer song? Maybe the Sweater song. It would be either Blue Album or Pinkerton, to be honest with you. Although we rewatched that SNL skit and that about Weezer, and that is hilarious. Sinram, is Shaun of the Dead among the best 5 films of 2004? Is it 2004? 2004 is a tough year because there's a lot of good ones, but I would say, yeah. There's like Spider Man 2, Incredibles, Eternal Sunshine, Shaun of the Dead, other movies. I don't know. Yeah, I would agree. That's a tough year. There's a lot of like really good big movies. Yeah, Harry Potter 3, I know I'm supposed to say it, but it is really good. I don't know if I'd put that as high actually. It's like I don't know. I would put it up there. Maybe Shaun of the Dead is better than Harry Potter 3. What's an underrated adult cartoon you'd like to see get a revival? Underrated, maybe the Max. Maybe the Head. The Head. Let's say the Head. I always like that one. It looks very student film animation. Sam Powers, based on your posts, should media never give any sympathy or redemption to abusers, bullies, or anyone caught in the cycle? Should we just damn them for all eternity? Was Lily Orchard? What is this? I don't. Who's Lily Orchard? Um, I don't necessarily believe that, but I do think like they're like these have done it a lot. Then yeah, they shouldn't. We shouldn't necessarily sympathize with like the Weinsteins and stuff. Have you done or been to a movie themed party? I think I have. I forget which one though. What do I feel like I have? MLT, Roofman didn't flop. Does that get a chance to get nominated along? I don't know if Roofman would. I wanted to see that and I really haven't gotten to, and I was hoping Paramount Plus would play it, so or put it on, but I don't know. Current Red, did you know they just re-released the original Mario Galaxy onto Switch? Thought you'd like to know since you kept gassing it up as the last Mario game you liked. Oh, I didn't know. Thank you for telling me. Thinking of a favorite Lego sequel, probably Creed. To be honest with you, I think probably. Um, Zane Powers. If Zaslav was the most hated CEO who Hollywood loved and started copying, since Ellison is more hateable, will he become the one Hollywood loves and copies everything? No, because he hasn't done shit. If he does shit and it's successful, sure, but he hasn't done anything. So, Senator Fogo, favorite Thanksgiving food? I think you know it's mashed potatoes. So, Embla T, how to punish a mogul? Don't see his stuff. Well, don't pay to see any of his stuff. That's how you punish him. William Ellman, Jim, if a cartoon character went through a magical portal and landed in Times Square, New York, and you had to help him get back to his cartoon world, which cartoon character would you pick? Probably Felix the Cat, because that would be fun. But he couldn't talk, so it would be hard. St. Powers, do you admire the Zodiac Killer for being such a man? St. Powers, you're Jesus. I like the randomness of Steve Harris questions. It keeps me awake at this point in the show. Sorry, I'm noticing Cineram saying Morgan Freeman 0. I'm not going to yell because everyone's asleep. Lawrence Fishburne 0 BAFTA noms. How do they get, like, what is up with that? Okay, Cornbread follow up. Yes, this is the first time Mario has been in the parade at all. Wow, video game wise, there's only one Pokemon, Sonic, Angry Bird, and a Skylander beforehand. Really not much. Well, that's it. I'm surprised Mario's never been there before. Especially because Universal has such ties with Mario. Like, they never got around to it. What's going on? Have you seen It's Pat? I did back in the 90s. I remember it not being funny good. It was just not good. And Dave Foley's in it in a, like, more female presenting or something. I forget. And didn't Tarantino work on that script, I believe? Zane Powers, what would 2000 Jim's dating advice be? What topic should I talk? Would probably just be like, just go up and talk. I didn't really have great advice, which was just go up and talk to people. So I don't know if that's. I would usually be like movies. I used to be like, would specifically bring up all the rap music I was into, which turned off a lot of people. But it would also be like, if they're really disgusted, I was like, well, I know what your deal is. Embla T, it's December next month. How do you feel about it? 2015, 2025 just came about. My good friend still haven't forgiven me. I'll read Lord Byron's Manifestico. Manfred. I mean, I don't think it went by that quick, but it does feel like we've seen a lot of. I didn't answer the well. I'm not sure. Hold on. Fucking YouTube. I'm gonna end up. Wait. Where are we? Okay, Christian Gutierrez. I never see you in the chat until the end for some reason. I don't know. Maybe you only come in at the end. Anyway, question: if there is a manga anime source material that you would want to be adapted by Guillermo del Toro, but he changes like Pinocchio, what would it be? My pick would be Full Metal Alchemist. That's a good one. I would say maybe Robotech or Macross. I bet you would do a good job with that. And Blatia, I've been reading some keeper praise from auteur filmmakers like Eri Roth calling it, "What if David Lynch made surreal movies or something?" Should I believe him? Probably not, because I learned that apparently when he released Cabin Fever, he put David Lynch as an executive producer and played it at Sundance or something, and then David Lynch asked to see it and hated it and made him take his name off. So apparently that was sort of an in joke as well, which I didn't know. The Dub Lunan Hunter, that's a cool one. What are your plans for Thanksgiving? Just having it at home and watch the parade. I do not like to travel on Thanksgiving at all. It's horrible. Same Powers, thoughts on the Jessica Rabbit movie? Is it coincidence that Gary Wolf got the rights back at the same time as I didn't hear about a Jessica Rabbit movie? Did I announce that or something before? But I don't think they should make that. Not plausible. Would the sequel to Nosferatu 2 be called Nosferatu 2? It should be. There is a sequel with Klaus Kinski. I think it's like Nosferatu in Venice or something, which I never saw, but I was like, that's fascinating that he did it without Herzog. I'm always thinking. Worst anime you've ever seen? I don't know. I'm sure there is one. My friend Russ and I used to watch some random ones, so there probably is one, but okay. I fear forgetting there's a Sam Altman movie starring Edward Scissorhands, Andrew Garfield, directed by Guadagnino. It's going to be good, be better than The Social Reckoning. We'll see. I think it maybe. What's the funniest thing you've seen on the subway? A couple times when people act really drunk, and then when the cops show up, suddenly they're like sober like that, and you're like, you weren't even drunk. You're just weird. Do you have a favorite Abbott and Costello flick? I think The Flying Dutchman I ended up watching a lot, so I know that one actually really well, but not as many of the other ones. Well, although Abbott and Costello meet, was it Frankenstein? I guess that's better. But I've seen Flying Dutchman a lot. Have you watched the TV show The Odd Couple TV? Yeah, I used to watch. Well, New York One Channel does a marathon on New Year's Day of Odd Couple, and one does Honeymooners. I usually watch Honeymooners. I prefer Honeymooners to The Odd Couple, but I still like The Odd Couple. Embos, yeah, I bet you haven't seen Begonia yet, but do you believe Emma Stone is an alien? No, I kind of wanted to, but it just didn't work out. Super Kirby Dude, best Switch game you played, Mario Kart. Thoughts on Vine coming back? I do not understand that at all. I think it's a dumb idea. Um, what? I don't. Who's Lily Orchard? I don't understand that. Would you consider Hot Fuzz to be more of an action parody or a gallows? It's an action parody. I understand that. I've heard that before, but I don't believe it. Oh, I'm not. Anyway. All right. I think we got everything. I'm gonna say a really big thanks to all the super chats tonight. This was a really crazy show in terms of that. I want to thank Bloxy Alex, Nathaniel Fogel, William Ellman, Super Kirby Dude, Alex, William Ellman, Will, Super Kirby Dude, Will, Austin, William Ellman, William Ellman, Zane Powers, William Ellman. Thank you very much for all the super chats, and thank you very much for the support. I really, really do appreciate it. Cheers to all of you who did so. Funniest PPP moment. I can't think of one now, but I just want to think of us meeting up and having fun and laughing. I can't think of one right now, but I do know we had a. I don't know who Lily Orchard is, St. Powers. I really can't think of right now. I'll answer Austin's because it's his birthday. With Frankenstein out, do you think Andrew Garfield will watch it on a Monday while he's eating lasagna, hating himself for not doing Frankenstein? All right, it is really late, guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching the show. I really appreciate all the support tonight, and I hope you enjoy videos coming out. I hope you enjoyed the videos that came out this week. Hope you guys all have a good night. Sleep tight, take care of yourselves, and all that. And happy birthday! This episode is dedicated to Austin. Have a happy birthday, man! You're a really cool guy, and you do a great job. The Discord and all that, but you're a really cool person, and good luck to you, and have an awesome birthday. And yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you all next week with the next video, and you guys have a good night. All right, peace and subscribe and all that.